today. It's the National Football League. It's Week 8 of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers... won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Harris on first down. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
And that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down now, it's Wade. And he'll have a Jets first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
To throw is Ward on 1st and 10. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Defense. facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He's going to go up top again. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins on just 2 plays have taken the lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, Harris. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that, because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. To throw on second down. Harris. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded at about the 28. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Moore. He's going to air one out. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run the counter. Wade, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Harris. And he can't find the receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Pulled in at the 24. So that one will be accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Moore. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
The New York set to take the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Throwing to start the drive. Harris looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Murphy. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
On second down, it's Wade, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's the Jets punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. This will be fielded at the 17. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Let's go now. 60 Eagle, 60 Eagle. Yes. Watch the ship, watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship, watch the ship.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. with touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. New York's offense back out there and set to go.
They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot.
And the Dolphins rush gets home, down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And taken right at the 35.
A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return.
And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Miami set to take over. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. What is going on here? 4 first-quarter touchdowns. Unbelievable.
And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it, it's scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. New York ready to go again offensively.
And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Harris. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Wade. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded just inside the 30. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Dolphins ready to take over on offense.
And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this one is incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Moore. He's going to let it go again. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
On 1st down, Turner. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. It's the fullback hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's Harris, looking to throw on 2nd down. Looking for Murphy, and he finds him complete. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 3rd down, it's Wade. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Taking it about the 16. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume here. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And DP goes into Jets territory before being taken down. It's a big play there for Miami. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Another drive coming up for New York's offense.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
A carry here for Wade.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off at the 40. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Going to give this time to the tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Check 52. Check 4. Check 4.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Check 26, check 26.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Extra point splits the uprights. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return.
And New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
He finds his man complete. It's Wade. And he'll get nothing out of that one. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now. Hard to... And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And to give this time to the tailback. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return.
The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
Here's Ward, throwing on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown. A big play there. 67 yards. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Point after, right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
Now Harris on 1st down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. And quickly, they get to the line. Harris now. A final shot before break. Quick hitter here, it's complete. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And it's the home side who have the lead as they play the second quarter. The Egyptians looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And right now they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. Bo Jackson, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team.
The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 40 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Big series right here, so we gotta step it up.
A handoff as they run the counter play. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 5 yards remain on 2nd down.
Let's make these babies cry. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Check safety, check safety.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
36, 36. Under 10.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season.
And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
To throw is Harris from the gun on 3rd down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Looking to throw. Harris.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
They'll look to throw again.
They'll get that one complete to Connor. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Tight end right. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Harris to throw on 2nd down. Well, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. But I think Jet was able to recover, and they'll keep possession thanks to a heads-up play.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
He's not going to get me. Mine's 54.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Harris, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on here to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 8. 18-yard line, it looks like. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Hands it off out of the gun.
Bulldozes past him. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
53 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second and 7.
Here we go. Switch. Watch twitch.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Now here on EA Sports, and that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports, and he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Check out read. Whip. Watch the whip.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Check 6 guys. Check 3. Sponge.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves them with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
Check. Lock it. Check 3. Kill.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Jets have recovered.
He doesn't give many opportunities to carry it, so he's got to maximize. In this case, after dropping it like that, I think his number's going to go Way down. What do you think?
Yeah, and sometimes those fullbacks, let's just be frank, they use.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down?
After review the play, the run on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Pushes him over. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
78 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Second and 6 from the 10.
Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead. You give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. 5 plays there on that drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
So out now come the Jets.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Here's Harris on 1st and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 39. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. It looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Switch, switch, slam, slam, slam.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Right, 58, right there. Blue down. Watch the shift, watch the shift.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
84 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Check 99, check 99.
They run the counter now on first down. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yard. On the carry there, it'll be second down. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
That was a good chunk of yardage picked up there. And big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
The Dolphins on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run with their fullback. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true, because they are taught, take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
To the goal line, but not quite in. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Good solid gain on first down. About what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And now a carry here for their fullback. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going, but it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Point after, right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. New York's offense back out there and set to go. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Now Harris throwing on 3rd and long. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Strip that ball. Shoot! Shoot! Check. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Watch twist.
A handoff as they run the counter play.
And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal forthcoming as he takes this down to about the 5-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Here comes the Dolphins defensive unit now. Really, the only thing left here to figure out is whether or not they can finish off the shutout, because the game, that's out of the question.
And unlike baseball, where you never mention the possibility of a no-hitter until it actually occurs, in this case, they can say a shutout is within grasp. That's what they're talking about out there right now. Don't give up any points. Let's finish this thing off.
How big is that for a defense to take a shutout into the next week?
It's absolutely huge. You just feel better about everything that you do, everything about your teammates, everything about your squad. It's massive.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Dolphins, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to New England to take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.